Joe got a weird case. 100%. I'm not here to defend anybody's unusual activity. Please don't don't mistake what I'm saying or what I said earlier as a justification of the actions. Joe has a weird case. I am not here to defend anyone's unusual activity.
Young black man, just be who you are. Young black man, you were meant to be a star. Young black man, keep yourself away from violence.
Back at you with another video. You already know how we coming. It is a new year. New year, new me. Ain't that what the girlies be saying? New year, new me. I lied. New year, same me, better me. Thank you guys so much for all of the support over the last few months that this channel has been growing and building. I cannot tell you I thank you enough. So I'm gonna say it every video. Thank you guys. I don't really have too many like New Year's resolutions. One of the biggest things is just getting out of the house more. I tend to spend a lot of time creating in the multitude of avenues in which I create, whether that be music, whether that be design, whether that be this YouTube channel and the multitude of other channels that I'm starting and creating. And yeah, I want to do that. I want to get outside more. I want to travel more. There's a couple places I want to go. And yeah, that's one of my plans. Secondly, I want to clear my computer entirely of all finished songs this year. Like, we're just going to let everything go. If you do not know, I make music and that's like one of my things. The intro song is a song that I've been working on for the past few months that I really like. And you guys have been liking it also. And we're going to drop it soon. I promise you, before we drop it, we'll do a big thing about it. And yeah, like those two things, I just want to thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Like, this has been an amazing journey, you know? What are some of your New Year's resolutions? Leave those in the comments. I want to know what you guys' plans are, and maybe we can all have a neighborhood meeting and try to hold each other accountable to make sure that we achieve some of our goals this year. One of my goals this year is by the time we end this 10,000 subs, you know? Hopefully more, but let's be modest and say 10,000. Yeah, kind of a very long-winded intro. So if you do not know, Joe Budden got charged with lewd activities because Joe says he was sleepwalking and, you know, walked out of his apartment into the hallway and got caught on a ring camera with his dick out. So we're gonna get into this video.
Joe Budden does have a weird case. I'm glad you brought it up because I haven't had a chance to talk about it. Yesterday, the Edgewater Police Department issued a press release saying that Joe Budden has been charged with a single act of lewdness. Basically, on December 4th of this year, the police were called to Joe Budden's luxury residence because he was apparently walking around naked, trying to get into the apartment of one of his neighbors. The press release says he was stumbling around with no clothes on, trying to punch in the code to their neighbor's apartment, and I guess it did not work. He realized what was going on, and he stumbled back into his apartment. Now, the police were called, and he was not arrested that day, but I'm guessing the person whose apartment it was finally decided that they could not live with the trauma of seeing that man naked in front of their house. I mean, let's be honest. Joe Budden is a big dude. All right. I would be a little traumatized by that too. Now, Joe.
Let's stop. I want to start with saying, Joe, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you don't watch enough of the Joe Budden podcast, I've watched it for years. I'm kind of on the end of not really listening as much anymore, but Joe talks about sleepwalking all of the time, and I'm not saying that's an excuse for what happened here. I just want to speak directly upon him saying, oh, Joe Budden's a big dude, I would be intimidated. I think words are important. I think in 2025, especially before 2025, like yesterday, I've learned over the following politics and all of that people don't understand what words mean, right? And I make this analogy a lot, right? I was arguing with a Trump supporter on Facebook, right? And she said Martin Luther King gave his life for the civil rights struggle. And that to me was like, pause. I responded like, Martin Luther King didn't give his life. Someone took it. And I think just changing the phrasing of that changes how people perceive it, right? Words are super important. How you use words are super important. In the Martin Luther King case, if a child was to read that in a book without any of the background that Martin Luther King gave his life for the civil rights struggle, you are to assume that Martin Luther King actively was a part of the civil rights struggle, watched it, followed through its inception, and then eventually died. And you cannot change words like that to misguide and miseducate, right? So in this case, he says Joe Budden's intimidating. Using that word insinuates he was being aggressive or malicious in any way, shape, or form. The statement does not say that in any way, shape, or form. And it's important to use our words correctly because you are now adding something on there that is not there and was not there in the statement from the police or from Joe. That, to me, it's a nitpick, but for me, it's important because, yes, what Joe did is fucking crazy. Do I think Joe was trying to maybe, assault somebody? No, not at all, because that's not what is insinuated in the statement. Do I think Joe was actually sleepwalking? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's important to make sure that, we're using our words correctly. That's it. In 2025, let's learn words first, understand words, and then use them correctly because it's important. Don't put that on that man's jacket because what we are talking about right now seems minute, seems small. If we add that context to it, it becomes bigger, it becomes a snowball, and that's just not what it is. Let's finish the video.
Joe Budden and his team have responded saying that this charge by the police department is racially motivated.
Joe, it's not.
Some people are citing the fact that the incident happened on December 4th, but the press release did not get released until December 30th. So why would they take almost a month to release that sort of information? They're saying it has to do with his celebrity status and the fact that he's African American, and there may be past tension with this neighbor. Look, I do not doubt that law.
I think I don't think, Joe, it has anything to do with you being black because like I can see you, bro. You're on camera. I do think Joe has been expressing on his podcast that he's been having problems with the tenants of that complex that I think he shoots the podcast and has an apartment in the same complex. So he's been saying he's been having issues with these people lately. And yeah, maybe I could see how somebody has this video and kind of doesn't know what to do with it and then realizes oh, this dude's a menace. We're all trying to get him out of here. I can use this as a way to say this man is a menace to all of us. You get what I'm saying? To prove that he's a problem. But anything outside of that, whether it being race or anything about that, I don't believe that, Joe.
Law enforcement is 100% prejudiced against black people. But dog, they got you on video naked. I mean, it's pretty clear cut. You was naked in front of that dude's house. People have already made AI photos depicting the situation. So, I mean, Joe Budden is getting cooked online, and you're going to get cooked online regardless.
Yeah, you're going to get cooked when you walk around naked, bro.
It also doesn't help that out of nowhere, Joe Budden went back to his original studio, which sparked a lot of speculation as to what was going on and why they weren't in their big podcast room that they've been in for the last 2 years. So yes, Joe Budden has a weird case, and I am worried that this might open some floodgates. All right, we might end up finding out more information because this is not the first time we have heard about Joe Budden sleepwalking without clothes on. He's actually told stories about it in the past. It's been a crazy year, man. I will say his subscriber count is probably going to shoot up on Patreon for this next episode because I definitely need some details on whatever is going on.
Okay, so that's the video, and I just want to end it off by saying Joe got a weird case. 100%. I'm not here to defend anybody's unusual activity. Please don't mistake what I'm saying or what I said earlier as a justification of the actions. Joe has a weird case. I am not here to defend anyone's unusual activities. I'm gonna say it again because that is important. But what's equally important is to make sure that we are being real honest and fair with our words. I think Joe's going to deal with that however Joe deals with it. I'm sure the police will deal with it however they deal with it. But I've already seen comments alluding to, like, you know, the Diddy situation. Let's not do that to each other in 2025. That's it. It's not 2025. Let's be more fair with each other because we only have each other. With that being said, I'm just a mildly educated street neighbor. Please, if you're interested, go follow my Twitch channel. Go follow me on Instagram. What else? Subscribe here, please. Like, share, and subscribe. I don't even think I said that the whole video. And with that being said, I'm out.